Mitsika995, I have no idea how to say your name, I'm sorry, it'll be like right here-ish. They asked if I could review my crab droid design, and the thing is that I have. It's actually the one and only video I have of it. It's probably gonna have a picture of it somewhere, like one of the, I don't know where the bubble goes on here, but I'll link to that video so you can see the review for it, and also, yes, the instructions for that and my droid speeder, not my droid speeder bike, my Bark Speeder are both available. Commander Dev asked what my favorite custom minifigure that I owned was, and again, that is the custom Carolina that I just showed off. Posty, who is a member, and by the way, I want to continuously thank you for that. He didn't really have a question, but he just said that he was happy to see that I was more comfortable in front of the camera. This is something that I was talking about in, well, about 2 minutes ago for you, about 2 days ago for me, where I was talking about how I have actually made videos for quite a while, and yeah, I mean, I've always been comfortable in front of the camera. The only reason I haven't done it on this channel is because I just don't have a good setup for it and wasn't really sure how to. It was just easier for me to film the sets where I wasn't shown, but it wasn't really anything because I didn't want to be seen. I mean, I don't really mind. I don't know if this is something that people want to see, but I have no problem being on camera. Motion Man 2021 asked me how many duplicates of a single set do I own? Like, how many of one set do I have? Like, if I have like 10 501st Battle Packs or anything like that. The only set that I have more than one of is the U-Wing from Rogue One, and I have 2. That's it. That is the most versions of any set that I own. Just kidding. I also have 2 Saturn Vs. But I've modified one to be the Saturn V with Skylab, so it's kind of different. Coco Emily, or Coco Emile, I still don't know how to say your name, asked what do I think of Starbricks. If you don't know who Starbricks is, they have actually made some really incredible UCS sets. I believe I'm thinking of the right person here. They made, quite recently, they just made a K2 SO. They've also made, they made a U-Wing of their own. They made the Resistance Bomber seen in Episode 8. And I think they made Kylo Ren's TIE Fighter. I love their sets. I don't own any. I had the instructions for the U-Wing, but that was on that hard drive that's gone. By the way, thank you, like, so many of the people who I've bought instructions from in the past were incredibly kind and very understanding about this. The guy who gave me the Empire over Jeddah instructions sent them to me again. Built Bricks sent me all of the instructions for the lightsabers of his that I had. Just didn't even ask questions, just sent them over again. They are all really great people, and I really want to thank them all for that. But Starbucks is really cool. At some point, I would love to show off some of his stuff on my channel. They are a little more on the expensive side, but that's because there's a lot of detail and a lot of pieces in them, and they are totally 100% worth it. Darius Esteban, who I hope I said your name right, asked what are my thoughts on the rumored Super Battle Pack, or like that $30 set akin to the 501st Battle Pack that we got. I actually never heard about this until your question. Given I don't really follow rumors too much, but I know that when stuff like this pops up, people on my Discord tend to talk about it, and no one has even mentioned it yet. I don't know if this is going to be a thing. I would love it if it was, if it's slightly different to the 501st Battle Pack. I think the 501st Battle Pack, though it's okay, would have been better if it had, like, maybe 2 more droids or something. To me, it didn't really feel like it was worth that $30. I don't think 4 figures and 2 vehicles justifies a $15 more price tag, because yeah, you got the 2 droids, but droids are whatever, you can get them for $1. So maybe if there were more figures in it, or like an actual decent build or something, maybe, but like I said, I haven't heard anything about it. I would not keep my hopes up just yet. I don't know, M&R knows more about that stuff than me. Heads up, Ghosty did actually ask a question. They wanted to know what my plans are for this channel, as in, do I have an end game, do I have any goals, or am I just going to keep doing this until I can't or don't want to? And I actually do have a few ideas and a few goals for this. I don't know if I would say there's an end game, though. I would love to be able to keep this channel going for years and years to come. One of my neighbors is currently moving in, so if you hear any thumps or weird noises, that's why. But I really just want to help grow the custom Lego community. It's there. It exists. But a lot of people don't really have that access to to make the sets, custom minifigures are a different thing, but when it comes to the custom sets, to the mocks, obviously there's Brickvault out there who make these instructions that people can buy, but a lot of people don't really know or don't want to take that jump from buying the instructions to building the set. And I want to help bridge that gap and make that something that's easier for people to do. Again, that's part of why I'm finally making this website. It's an idea I've actually had for quite a while now, but I feel like I'm at a point where I can actually make it happen. I would also love to be able to start doing my own mocks. I want to make my own Star Killer base at some point, that's something that I would thoroughly love to do, something similar to what Rich Boy J did. I just don't have the room here. I also want to make a full Iron Man armory for all of these guys. There's a lot that I would love to do on there, and I want to talk to more people. Recently I talked to Mike. I would love to talk to Rich Boy J. If anyone wants to reach out to him and ask, I would appreciate that. Star Wars Explained is someone else that I want to talk to. Eventually, maybe people like Jank Bricks or M&R Productions. I feel like I'm a good bit away from doing either of those two yet, at least. And that's not to take away from Mike, Rich Boy J, Star Wars Explained, but I feel like if I'm going to talk to those guys, I need to establish myself a little bit more and not just be some random guy. And one last thing that I really want to do is help make the world a better place. So, I know, weird answer for a Lego YouTube channel, but it's something that I want to do in all aspects of my life, including here. Chars Boy asked, how do I display my collection? Can I show my apartment? And also explained that the pulsing in the last video came from trying to, because the camera was trying to focus on the light. It was a different light, but yeah, that's also why I'm not facing that way anymore. For the apartment thing, not really. First, privacy. Second, there's not much to see. There's this wall, that wall, and that's kind of it. As to how do I display my collection, kind of just like you see here, just a ton of shelves. I got this for like $1, the shelf for $1. All of the rest that you see are all IKEA shelves. I have this really big shelf that I'm gonna start switching to it from Lowe's. It was like $50, but it's like 10 feet tall or something like that. It's got a bunch of different rows, and it was able to clear up a lot of space. And so I think it doesn't look nice, but it's got a lot of room on it. And so I think I'm going to move away from the IKEA things and start focusing more on stuff like that to be able to have more room and get more sets. The Unpopular Opinion asks, what are the top 5 arcs from the Clone Wars? And I'm glad you asked, because there's only a few really good answers to this question. I mean, you have to include Bombad Jedi. You have to include the one with Commander Gregor and the 4 droids. I mean, that was such a good act. And you know what? 3, 4, and 5 are all going to be the Martinez sisters. That was just so good that it has to be all 3 of those. But seriously, I think I would do the Umbara arc. I would definitely do Landing at Point Rain. I would do the Fives arc, the Wrong Jedi, and of course the Siege of Mandalore. Those 5 are definitely up there. Armadon channeled his best Gandalf and asked, where's my Zeta class shuttle? Is it secret? Is it safe? Wait, no, he actually asked where it is and if it's okay. Sitting right next to my Razor Crest, still kind of falling apart. Haven't really been able to get those Lego pieces like I wanted, and every subsequent attempt to fix it continues, and with it ending like this. The Space Cowboy Yeet asked, what was my favorite set Lego Star Wars set that I got as a kid? If you mean like if you count 13 as a kid, then the Republic Gunship, because that was still fun, but I got that one myself as opposed to my parents getting it for me. Plugsman, I think I said that wrong, asked what set would a P2 Cody be best in? And the obvious answer is the UCS gunship. O'Brien asked if I would prefer an $800 Death Star or an $800 AT-AT. I think personally, I would go with the Death Star, assuming it's the Death Star 2. An original Death Star set, I don't think would be that interesting, to be honest. I would love it, but I don't think it'd be that interesting. I think a Death Star 2 set, you could get very detailed with it, make it look really cool. You could throw in like the Executor Star Destroyer. Like I said, I already have the original Death Star 2 set. I think a remake would be awesome. And I'm not one who really likes remakes. An AT-AT would be cool, but I don't know what you do with $800 for an AT-AT. There are some mocks out there that cost about that much money, and I don't see LEGO ever going that route with it. So that's why. Like, I would want an AT-AT set, a UCS AT-AT, or AT-AT. I prefer AT-AT. But I just don't see it costing $800. Felipe Garcia asked 2 questions. First, if I had $30 to spend on a minifigure, which one would I get and why? $30 isn't enough. If you're looking at custom minifigures, you're going to need more than $30. You can get some for less than that. You can get a lot of them less than that. Minifig Madness, you can get them for less. Nash Vegas Bricks, you can get them for less. But if you're looking at like Clone Army Customs, Big Kid Bricks, even Minifigs for You, if you're looking at anything like that, you're going to need more than $30. For me, I've been looking at Tomino recently. He does a lot of, not necessarily minifigures, but like armor sets for minifigures. He has some Iron Man ones that I would be really interested in getting, but they're just currently out of stock, and I don't have the money for that. Hopefully both of those things change soon. If you're talking about actual minifigures, I would probably just get any like Star Wars figure. The second question is, what is something from Star Wars that has not been made into a set yet? And that's a really tough one. That's not been made into a set yet that I want to be made into a set. I want to say a proper Starkiller base, but like UCS style. Snoke's ship, you could do the Home One. They've never made any Mon Calamari cruisers. I mean, look, they've made like the Home One set, but you know what I mean. I'm talking about like the physical set there. A proper Venator. Again, I know they made a set still. There's a lot. Like they did the Nebulon recently, so I can't really include that one. I'm trying to think Padme's ship from episode 2 would be really cool to see. The same one, I think it's the similar one we see in episode 3. The UT-AT. Of course the UT-AT. I've got my own version over here, but they haven't done that yet. The Radis from episode 8. There's a whole lot of things that they've never done before that they could do. Brits and Pieces says, tell me why. Ain't nothing but a heartache. I can't sing. But if you've ever seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine, that cold open is the single best cold open of that show. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, then look up Brooklyn Nine-Nine, tell me why. D. Foxy asked me if I've ever heard of Danganronpa. I don't know how to say that, and unfortunately, no, I haven't. I have no idea what that is. They also asked me what other themes outside of Star Wars do I like with LEGO, and I love architecture, and I love space. I also like Iron Man stuff, but I haven't been getting so much of that recently because it's not really worth paying $30, $40, $60 for a single figure when I can just get that figure. But yes, architecture and space. Oh, and modulars. Those are the other ones that I really love. Dingo asked me what are my thoughts on Minecraft and Lego Minecraft. I actually really love Minecraft, the video game. My friends and I played it when it was still in alpha. Like, yeah, we've been playing it that long. Before it was ever officially released, before creative mode was a thing, before food was a thing, like survival mode wasn't even a thing. Like, you would still die, but you didn't have to eat or anything. We were playing before Endermen were a thing. I think, like, creepers had just been added. We've been playing for a very long time, and I still love it. It's a really good creative outlet for me. My friends and I will go in and we'll jump in and we'll play a bunch. We play a bunch of different mods, but it's good. Lego Minecraft I think is fun. I used to own a bunch of sets on the table where the Venator is here. I actually used to own like the Minecraft Mountain Cave and a bunch of other sets. I had a whole Minecraft setup, but I wouldn't really do anything with them. I still wish that I had them. I wish I hadn't sold them because they are nice. I just don't have the room, and so instead I'm sticking with Star Wars and the other stuff. Oh, and sometimes ideas. To answer my last question, I like ideas too. Duck Productions asked, "What is my favorite trilogy?" I can't point, but the prequel trilogy. It's what I grew up with. I was born in 1994. Episode 5 or episode 1 came out in 1999 when I was 5. I remember being in first grade, going to recess all the time and being like, I want to play Star Wars, I want to play Star Wars. And I was always Qui-Gon Jinn because I loved him. Growing up, I still like him, but I like Obi-Wan too. I remember not really liking Episode 2 so much, but Episode 3 was the first Star Wars movie that I ever saw in theaters. I actually saw it twice. I almost said 3 times, but that's not true. I saw it twice. And I just loved it, and I still love it to this day. Episode 1 and Episode 3 are still my 2 favorite Skywalker Saga movies, and yeah. James McMillan Klein, I think I said that right, asked me what other franchises am I a fan of outside of Star Wars, and that is a very good question. Go to the other side of my apartment here, then you will see 2 of them. Growing up, I was a huge fan of A Series of Unfortunate Events. I've read this entire series through probably 3, 4, 5 times by now. And the other one is the Expanse series. I just started reading this, actually. I watched the show first, and then loved the show, went, it's based off of some books, let me get those. This is a really, really good book. This is actually becoming one of my, probably my new favorite series. Sirius is meowing, you can probably hear him. I'm actually about halfway through book 2 right now, already bought book 3, and books 4 and 5 are in the mail as we speak. Yeah, it's that good. I don't normally do that. The other series that I really enjoy is the Maze Runner series. That is another series of books that I have read through several times. I usually read through them about once a year. At least I have been. I didn't last year because I was trying to focus on other stuff, but still, it's there. I do enjoy Lord of the Rings, but I don't enjoy the books. I read The Fellowship of the Rings or The Fellowship of the Ring, and honestly, that's probably one of the worst books that I've ever read. It was great for its time. Nowadays, it's incredibly boring, to be honest, but I still enjoy Lord of the Rings. Non-book stuff, I also enjoy Futurama, Disenchantment. Both Futurama is my favorite show of all time. I can sit down and watch any episode at any point and just love it. My dad and I will quote Futurama endlessly if you let us. See, I also enjoy the Marvel movies. I stopped watching after Endgame. Don't really plan to keep watching anything. Endgame is, it's kind of the end game, so I don't really get how you keep going after that, but whatever, I enjoy those too. They also wanted to know if I have any hobbies outside of custom Lego. Yes, the first thing that I like to do more than anything else is write. I do a lot of creative writing. I actually have 2 books that are the first drafts are finished, and I'm working on getting them to a published state because that's my ultimate goal in life, is to publish a book. I love to read. I love to play video games. I enjoy normal Lego outside of custom Lego too. I like to play soccer and football and whatnot, but just casually. I don't want to go out and join teams or anything like that. I'm actually a really big fan of video editing. I find that a lot of fun. Biggest thing that I do in life is creative writing. Oh, I also play piano. I've played piano for 21 years now at the time of making this video. So yeah, creative writing, piano, and then videos. Tron Machine asked if I would rather be a famous YouTuber or a famous person with their name in the Hall of Fame, and the answer is neither. I don't really want to be famous. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.